The GTX 760, released on June 25th, 2013. How does a 9-year-old graphics card, it is 9 years old, right? How does it compare to games today? I'm going to be testing a few games today. If you would like to see other games that I'm not going to test in this video, please let me know down below and I will try to test those out if enough people are actually interested. Also, while you're down there, why don't you hit the like button for me? You don't have to subscribe or anything, just like the video is all. If you haven't checked out the video I made of this computer build, you can check it out right here. If you don't want to go watch it, I'll give you the PC details really quick. So this PC has an i5-3470, 8GB of DDR3 RAM, and of course a RTX 2060. What the fuck? In all seriousness, it has a GTX 760. I recorded the gameplay from the desktop to my laptop using this thing. Cheap Chinese capture card for around $15 that I got off of eBay. Just so I didn't have to use Shadowplay or OBS for the recording process, and I could get that little extra FPS boost. Okay, specs out, first game. The first game we're gonna take a look at is a game released in 2018. Late 2018, ACO. But for most of these games, I'm playing them on low settings anyways, because I want to maximize the frames per second as much as I possibly can. Of course, with this video, you can decide whether or not you think it's good enough to play from there, or if you want to boost the graphic settings a little bit. It is a pretty fun game, to be honest with you. I still haven't even finished half of it, so clearly there's a lot of gameplay that I could still play with my GTX 760. And actually it's pretty fun. It's averaging around 35 FPS, let's say. Yeah, I forgot to check the min, max, and average on MSI Afterburner. Initially released in 2019, The Division 2 is still pretty fun if you've never played it before. Tests are being done on low settings. Like I said, I want to maximize the frames as much as I possibly can. It looks like we're averaging around 40 FPS on this one, and yeah, that's all I have to say. Played pretty smooth. The Division 2, again, super fun if you've never played it before. Also, it has online, so you can go into the dark zone and start looting people, turn rogue, and destroy things. And yeah, as you can tell, I'm not very good at gameplay commentary. So, okay, Metro Exodus. Released in 2019, does seem to have a little bit more trouble staying consistently on anything higher than 30 FPS, but it is still passable, playable. I think maybe if we lowered the settings, well, they're as low as possible, but I think if we played it at 720p instead of 1080p, we might get a slight boost of frames. Slightly, but very possible. I know I should have tested it out, but I just wanted to give you an idea of what a computer like this is capable of, and then you can take the risk. Also, maybe if you add another 8GB of RAM, we might get smoother gameplay with the GTX 760, but of course, a better graphics card would probably be your better option. Now, we're going back in time to 2016 with No Man's Sky. So, a game released 3 years after the initial release of the GTX 760. I haven't played much of this game, to be honest, but I hear it's huge and never-ending, and it's a great exploration game if you want to explore the universe. I don't know whose universe, but explore the universe. The FPS on this one seems to be on par with those of the Division 2. With it being an older game, I was expecting maybe just a little bit higher of an FPS. Just slightly, of course. I wasn't expecting a 200 FPS boost or anything, but maybe just a little bit higher than those two newer games that came out 3 years after No Man's Sky. I still do think that No Man's Sky plays pretty well. So if you're a fan of action, adventure, survival, then definitely check this game out. So one of the newer games, and the last game I'm testing here, was released in 2020, Cyberpunk 2077. I know the FPS looks bad on this, but to be honest, the gameplay wasn't horrendous. I had fun running around and beating these people up actually. And yeah, some parts the frame drop was really bad, but I still believe it's pretty playable. And I'm sure if you drop down the resolution to maybe 720, like I said before, you could get a slight boost of FPS. And of course, I didn't test that out. I know that wasn't too many, but hopefully that gave you an idea of what a PC like this is capable of playing. If you want to see other games, let me know in the comments below, and I will maybe do a part 2 for the GTX 760. Also, new videos will be coming out, and yeah, that's all I have to say. Also, one last thing. You know that game Elden Ring? I actually also tested that out. Whole video showing you how you can play Elden Ring with the GTX 760. Tested it with this computer, got some good frames. If you want to watch that video, I'll link it up right now. And of course, if you haven't checked out the build for the whole PC and you want to check it out, check that out as well, as it took me hours to film and edit, and so did this video. Take care everyone, and don't forget to follow me everywhere, but don't follow me to my house. That would be weird.